Hello. Good afternoon. Can you all hear me? Hello, welcome. Yes. Sandamali, yes, yes. Good afternoon, yes. Please give a response in the chat box. There are 15 people. I want 15 people to say yes. Hello. Shifani, yes. Yes. Yashoda, yes. Yashodya, yes, 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 yes. Yumali, yes. Rashmi, yes. Good, good. Shanika, Sandamali, right. Okay. Before we get into the program, welcome you all to the Diploma in Business, Finance, and Bank Management. I am Davans. I am ex-banker, and I've been teaching at IBSL for last 15 years. Let me before I get into the topics, can I know background of you all? Can you all just say your workplace, or you are a student or whatever? Just say your working organization or the school or the university or anything. Just put in the chat box your workplace or the university or whatever. Can start. NDB, yes. Niloshi, very good. DFCC, yes. Sandamali, HNB, Shifani, DFCC, yes. Good. HNB, Manisha Pera, yes. Good. Okay, I am from NTB, yes. Shamin, Dham, Ekanayaka Commercial Bank, NSB, Gayani, yes. Very good. Good response. Some more to come, I think. NTB, Tijila, yes. Tijila, yes. Is that all? Humali, Merchant Bank, good. All bankers. Right. Okay. Yes. Okay. Welcome all of you once again. Actually, this project report you require as part fulfillment of your diploma course. I will just brief what is the requirement of the project report. The module objectives are to provide hands-on experience and direct exposure to participants on their respective discipline. That means in this case, yes, bank and finance management, to train the participants in the application of theoretical knowledge in practical situation and independent studies. Requirements: study relevant topic in depth, reading, making literature survey, carry out a field study survey to collect information, write a report consisting minimum 2,500 words. It means about 10 to 12 pages, excluding graphics, tables, charts, and follow the standard report writing style. You know what the report writing style? It should have a structure from introduction, study from say executive summary, introduction, then the body of the topic, then recommendations and conclusions. That's a report structure. executive summary, introduction, body of the report, recommendations, conclusion. And then if you are attaching any, say if you are referring to any, if you are referred to any articles, just give the references in a separate page. Right, so it's like this. Now structure, I will show you executive summary, introduction and background. Analysis is the body, basically, the recommendation and conclusion. List of references, any references you have made from books or articles. Appendices, if you want to attach anything, can attach annexures. In this case, you can attach a copy of the survey report that you are going to use for the collection of data. Now, this project requires you to do a field study and a kind of a survey. I will tell you the details about the survey. You have to take a sample and do a sample of customers rather. Maybe your sample size can be around, say, 30 to 50 customers would be ideal, or even 50. If you can make 50 sample customers is even better. Anyway, we'll go on. As we go on, I will tell you exactly what we should be doing in this project report. Now, I am of the view that you are familiar with writing a project report. But even you have not done any project report for an academic program earlier, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the cover page. You can just give the details of the topic name, index number, and so on. And then the table of contents, as I said, executive summary. Executive summary, you say what you have done during this project and a very brief summary and what you have gathered and how you have gathered the information and what are the conclusions you made. Introduction is about the topic that you are going to research. Then analysis and evaluation is basically the various analysis that you do with the information that you have collected through from customers through the survey questionnaire. And final recommendations and concluding remarks you can make as recommendations and conclusions, and that's it. So page number of pages can vary from, okay, actually I have mentioned here about 25, but you don't have to, if you have no content, at least make it at least 15 to 20 pages would be sufficient for the diploma level. And number of words, as I said, should be around 2,500 to 3,000 words, be ideal. Okay, so let me run through the assignment first. I hope that you have received this document already. It's about customer service that we are researching in this project. Let me read the assignment. Organizations today facing a severe competition, which is now termed as hyper competition. Customers and the consumers are becoming more and more knowledgeable, demanding, and they want things in their way. You are aware that customers are becoming very, very knowledgeable, and they know banking sometimes even more than us, and they are very demanding, and they want the things to be done in their way, not according to our way, but according to their way. Organizations need to understand the fact that in the face of competition, they have to make their value offering more attractive than the rest of the competition. They must find a way to differentiate and achieve sustainable competitive advantage over their rivals. So competition is severe, and a lot of banks are in the competition in the marketplace and fighting each other. competing each other, and your offering has to be more attractive than the rest of the competition. Otherwise, you will lose your market share. Others will grab into your market share. So they must find a way to differentiate and achieve a sustainable competitive advantage over their rivals. So how do we make a difference is the question, because everyone is same. Like all the banks have technology, all the banks have product services, they have funding almost in equal in today's context. So the question is how to differentiate in a market where everyone is attempting to offer the best value to their customers. There are three approaches available to a marketer among many others. Firstly, product innovation, and then convenient delivery channels, and finally, ensuring of a superior service mindset, service quality across the organization. So in order to how to differentiate a bank from another, so there are many approaches to do this, but three key approaches I have mentioned here are: one is a product innovation, having superior new products, highly attractive and innovative products is one way to differentiate. For example, there are new banks are coming up with under recent digitalized methods, various attractive products to attract the customer. So digitalized products, highly technologically advanced products can be one way to differentiate. And then convenient delivery channels and convenient delivery channels, meaning new ways of giving number of ways for customers to approach us. Maybe other than our bank branches, there are other methods. Customers can go to supermarkets and access our banks, and go to hospitals. You have no bank counters, service stations, fuel stations, and so on. And so that's and also now latest delivery channels are through digital methods, online methods, especially after pandemic situation. New digital channels have been opened. So all these are delivery channels where customers can access the banks. Finally, ensuring of superior value. So another way to differentiate is creating superior value and service quality to the customer. And to provide that superior value to the customer, there should be superior service mindset across the organization. So only differentiation that cannot be copied by the competition quickly is the superior service mindset, because all the other things can be copied, because new products can be copied, and even new channels like digital channels can be copied. If you the fundings are there, these things are easily introduced because banks can do it. Only it's a matter of time or the banks catch up and do this product innovations and introducing new delivery channels. But you know, this is where the customer is treated as number one priority across the organization. You know, superior mindset, the creation of superior mindset is not easy. Even you have money, even you have funding, it is not easy, because it's a mindset, it's an attitude change that has to be created. So spending money alone, you can't do it. So it's an attitude change that need to be done in the organization. So so this is where the customer is treated as number one priority across the organization, and entire workforce is geared to provide the consumers the best attention they deserve. So it meaning that everyone in the organization, every employee, every person in the organization, every employee in the organization uh, is willing to provide the customers the best attention they deserve. Research have shown around 70% of customer defection is due to poor attention paid by the employees. So a lot of customer defection or losing customers have taken place due to poor attention paid by the employees. So who are making or breaking the organization's differentiation strategy? Employees. So employees are the makers or breakers of the success of the organization. Customer defection arises when promises are not kept or delivered. Over-promising the customers and not keeping those promises really makes a customer wild and disgusted. Service quality standard falls when the gap between what is expected and what is delivered or pursued become wider. So gap, because you promise something and you don't deliver, and there's a gap created between what is expected and what is pursued by the customer. So whatever is, sometimes organizations make huge promises which they cannot keep or deliver. So this where the gaps are created. The top management should be able to clearly understand that the needs of the customers and should be able to provide solutions through superior service to meet clients' expectations. Today, satisfying customer needs might not be enough, and organizations should strive to achieve customer delight, which means exceeding the customer expectations. Now, Selinko talks about exceeding the customer expectations. So they want to give something more than what is expected by the customer. So creating customer delight is a good thing if you can do, but at least you must deliver the promise. Customer delight is delivering more than what you have promised, but at least what you have promised has to be delivered. Otherwise, you are creating customer defection. It is no doubt that superior service mindset of employees is something that cannot be copied easily, although products and delivery systems can be copied and may not sustain as a point of differentiation. That's what earlier said. So developing a superior mindset among employees is more sustainable change that can be done if we can for the betterment of the organization. Okay, so are we clear on the case and then the necessity of creating superior value to the customers to succeed in our efforts? There's no question about that, right? Is it? Okay, so let me get your views. Okay, so far either assignment is understood. Are there any questions? Just say yes or no. I ran through the assignment. Are you clear about the assignment? Hello? Up to now, are you okay? Yes. Very good. Sorry. Yes. What about others? Others are not clear? Yasoda, yes. Yasodya. Pumali, yes. Tijila, yes. Shani, yes. Shanika, yes. Asanka, yes. Okay. Right. Good. I like your responses. Yes. So then let's look at the assignment, the thing that you have to do. In order to deliver superior customer satisfaction, organizations can be guided by one useful framework or the model known as so-called model. The model to be discussed. You are required to study, survey, and evaluate and discuss the dimensions of this model in reference to your own organization and make your recommendation to improve the service quality, customer delight therein. Okay, so you now maybe you are in branches or head office, it doesn't matter. um, Even in the people who are in head office, you have to uh, because where you don't have customers coming outside, customers coming in, there are those people at head office will have to do it as if you are in a branch. You may have to get a support of one of the staff working in a branch and do the study. Otherwise, it'd be difficult because this ideally suit to branch banking. But if you are doing it, if you are it at a head office, working in a different department, uh, because if there are external customers are not coming there, it will be little difficult. So you have to imagine a branch or imagine a situation, or not imagine in the sense you have to select a branch, as imagine as if you are working in that branch, and do the survey accordingly. Right. So let me. Are there anyone? Are there anyone working at head office? Is there anyone? Please give your response. Let me discuss something with you all. Nilushi is at head office. Yes, in head office department. Yes. Who else? All others are in branches. Is that so? Nilushi is at head office. Okay. All the others are say they are okay. And Nilushi, is there a way for you to get a help of call center? Call center. Yes, call center again is a bit of a thing because only external customers call you, but there are certain amount of customer service, but it's limited only to audio calls. No, right? Then two of you, and who else? Those who are not in bank branches, please uh, inform me. I will tell you a way to do it. Nilushi, which bank are you? Is it Nilushi NDB? Yeah, you'll be able to get help of somebody in a branch to do this survey. Yes or no? Just say yes or no. Yes, can manage. Yeah. If you have any question, you can. I will give my telephone number after the program. You can get my help if you need any support. Even I can ask someone to support you from NDB. I have some senior friends there. Then yes, so if anything, you call me or contact me. I will ask you to ask someone to support you. Other person, call center girl. Is there a way for you to do it? Getting help from someone. Which call center are you attached to? Hello. Doha Bank. Doha Bank. You are here or you are not here in Sri Lanka? Or you are doing it from here? All right, Shanika. Yes. Okay. I'm from Qatar. Right. Oh, glad to hear that you're online from Qatar. Yeah,
Yes,
welcome.
I'm hoping to come for the exam to Sri Lanka.
Oh, nice, nice. Right. So you
Yeah.
can do the survey, Shanika. There's no issue. You can get some help.
Yeah, it's fine because I anyway have the knowledge, like product knowledge and all, and I can get help from my friends.
Oh, right, right. Very good. Super. Right. If there anything, you contact me by email, or I'll give my email address and the phone number for any help if you need any information you need with regard to the thing. Okay, Shanika.
Sure,
Right.
sir. Thank
Right.
you.
Thanks. Okay. Then job is done. Very good. And let me go back again. Uh, now. Now this survey I will survey is generally done by way of way of filling a questionnaire. Say you design few questions for the customers to get the response. So that's what is called a questionnaire, covering various areas that we discuss in this model. Covering all these models, you can all these areas you can design and develop some questions. I have given you a sample questions also in this document. Don't copy the same questions again, but refine it according to your requirement, and that will be then ideal to get the real feedback. And okay, before now, since you all are familiar with the program, and tell me the content. Tell me, do you think your banks? I don't want the bank name, but your personal view. Do you think we? Do you personally think you need to improve service quality of your bank? Yes or no? Because the thing I am saying must make sense for you, no? So you think our service level will have to be improved at our banks? Yes or no? If you don't agree, if you think our bank service quality is at its best and we don't have to improve, then forget about the assignment, right? Or else if you think there's room for improvement, uh, do you think we need to improve our service quality? Please give your response. Yes or no? You understand my question? Do you think this survey will help you uh, to improve, or rather, do you think we need to improve the service levels in your banks? Yes or no? Yes. Nilushi says yes. Need to improve. Yes. How about others? Yes. Shifani, yes. Shamina says yes, yes. You'll agree with me. Avantika, yes, yes. There's always possibility for improvement. Yes, very good. Asanka Kumar, yes. Yeah, I like that answer. Should improve, yes. Yeah, I like that. Should improve. Others, do you think service quality levels should be improved? Yes. Okay. So majority of people say is it has to be increased, improved, and there's room for improvement. Very good. Actually, it's continuous improvement that we are talking about. Because today we have improved service, but maybe 1 or 2 years time it might not be sufficient because customer expectations are also on the rise, right? So if you don't improve your service level, what will happen is there will be a gap created because customer expectations are rising and your service level, service quality is at the same level. Then the gap will be high. So so in order to keep or meet the customer expectations, your service quality levels, service quality standards will have to be improved as we go. Because about, say, even your bank, your service quality would have been poorer than the present level in comparison. So now it has improved a lot. It would have improved a lot, but it may, current level may not be sufficient for another 1 year's time, because customers have different requirements. It may be due to changes happening in the macro environment. The technology is changing, the social behaviors changing, customer spending patterns changing. So all those will require us to refine our service levels to suit the changing needs. Right. So as assignment is clear, so let's look at the guidance notes. So guidance note is about explaining the so-called model that we are going to discuss here. I will come to the so-called model in a while. Okay. Service profit chain. So what's this chain we are talking of? Now it says now this service profit chain is there's a link between the service here, the customer service, and the profit. So how does it start? So it's starting from internal marketing or internal service levels. What are the internal service levels? That is between the management and the employees of the organization, which is called where we drive internal marketing. How management is treating the employees, counter level or interactive employees in the within the organization internally, whether that satisfaction motivation is created for employees to interact with the customers in a positive manner. So the service profit chain begins from the internal marketing or internal service levels within the organization, and then we will see we find satisfied and productive employees are created because of the management effort, and then these satisfied and motivated employees create value to the customers, in turn creating satisfied and loyal customers who will continue to bank with you and create more and more loyal customers, which will help healthy profits and continuous growth in the organization. So that's service profit chain, starting from internal service quality to profit and continuing growth. And service quality has many benefits in addition to overall growth of the organization that help retaining customers with us, because when you create loyal customers, they will continue to retain and do repeat business with us. And even the price competition is to some extent avoided, because if the customers are really loyal to us, they don't mind pricing much. Minor pricing changes. For example, even you charge a little more for your loan facility, or charge give little less for your deposit, your or their deposit. They might not make a fuss because they are become hardcore loyal to the organization, and they don't go away. They don't look at competition because you have been so good to them. Retention of good employees and reduction of cost. If the service level at a branch is very poor and the customers are complaining, there's a lot of unpleasantness within the branch. So there will be a situation, even the staff want to leave. That has happened in some places, in some banks. We have noticed it. We have observed that, because the employees also become unhappy when the service level is poor. Service level can be poor due to many reasons, not only the attitude of the people, but there are other issues. There can be technology issues, there can be equipment and other organizational issues, lack of staff. All those can contribute towards poor service quality, and which will antagonize the customers, and eventually that will create more disappointment among employees, and then the bank has to continuously recruit more and more people, increasing the cost, because recruitment cost is again an additional cost. And positive word of mouth. When happy customers are created through service quality, they will go and tell good about the bank to their friends and relations. So they themselves doing the marketing for us. So that is again to benefit us, because we have free marketing done by our loyal customers. So as I said in the assignment, the research shows customers leave due to several reasons. So 9% of customers go to competition due to benefits they get from the competition, maybe new rates, good rates, or whatever. Product issues, the product itself, say particular loan has an issue in the sense, maybe the process or the time taken to obtain the facility, or the product features are not according to the customer needs. So customers may leave, and good 68% of customers have left because of poor service quality at the branch. These are research done by research data done in Asia. So service? So how do the challenge is how to create a good service standard or service quality. To understand that, we have to understand some specific characteristics of a service. Services and the products are main things that we sell, right? Now, FMCG company, say your brothers sell soap or toothpaste, but what do we sell? We sell loans, we sell deposits, we sell credit cards. So these are actually services, not pure products. So there's a difference between a product and a service. Services have special characteristics that differentiate them from products. So what are they? So intangibility is the first characteristic that services has. Services are intangible because they can't be seen, tested, felt, heard, or smelled before purchase. Now, if you want to buy a cellular phone, It's a tangible product. You can see it, you can check it, check the performance, you can feel it, right? And so on. But if you want to obtain a facility, loan facility from a bank, all these things are not possible. You have to apply and see, apply and go through that experience. So service is an experience, right? Because it is so intangible thing. You can't test it before. Say, if you want to do a medical surgery, can you test it? The outcome? No. You have to go through the medical surgery. So medical surgery is a service. It's not a product. So take a haircut. So can you check haircut before you cut it? No. You have to cut it and see. You have to undergo that cutting operation. You have to undergo that medical operation. You have to undergo that loan documentation, loan approval process. So you can't test it before you purchase it. Inseparability. You can't separate the service provider or the service person from the service. Say haircut, can we separate barber or the hair dresser from the haircut? No. Right? Can you separate doctor from the surgery? No. It's one. Can you separate credit officer and the loan facility or the approval team from the loan facility? No. It's one. So that is the issue. So, but in a product situation, a salesperson and the product can be sold. So product can be bought by anybody. Even product can be kept in the shelf. Anyone can go and buy it. You don't even need a salesperson. Now you go to supermarket, no one gives you. You just go and take it, pick from the shelf. So there's no inseparability there, right? So but in a service situation, you cannot separate service provider from the service that you get. Variability. Quality or service quality depends on who provides them and when, where and how. Variability is where, depending on the service provider's mode, the quality can vary. So if you are in a good mood, if you are at the counter, you will provide a good service. Don't you think so? It is happening. But if you're in a bad mood, the particular day, or the customers who are coming to you, if you're at the counter, right? So God bless them, because you are not treating them well, because you are also irritated or upset about something, and your service quality levels may go down. So that is natural, because variability happens because service is provided by a human being. When human beings are involved in the service operation, the levels of quality can vary. There are things to do it to minimize the variability, but it can happen. So we'll discuss later how to minimize this variability. Perishability can't be stored for later sale or use. Say, can we store loan facilities and keep? No. So it has to be it has to go through that process, because services are produced and sold then and there. Services are produced and delivered then and there. Haircut is customer goes to the salon, undergo the haircut, and service is done. Medical operation, patient go to the theater, undergo the operation, surgery is done. Loan facility, customer go and apply, give details, give information, processing is done by the bank staff, and facilities approved and disbursed. That's how service is done. So services are produced and delivered then and there. But you know, if you take a product situation, now today you can sell a television that was produced about a year before, and you are buying a car today. It's a brand new car, but produced last year. So like that, or manufactured last year. So those are tangibles. Tangibles can be stored for a later date, but services cannot be stored. And the other difference is lack of ownership. You can't own a service, right? But you can, a personal computer you can buy and take home. But so services, so you can't take a haircut home, right? You have to undergo it and experience that service operation. So you understand. So, you know these are therefore very, very special type of characteristics of a service, because there's a human involvement, huge involvement of human element in a service. Because of the involvement of human element in services, the service quality is very difficult to standardize. So service quality cannot be standardized because of the human involvement in a greater extent. So that's the difficulty. So a lot of people say we have a good service, but service level even in a bank can vary every day. So in peak days, service may be very poor, and off peak days, service can be good. Same employees, same environment, but depending on the date, depending on the time, it can vary. I hope you agree with us. So but what we cannot. So how do we do this? So I said, so intangible, inseparable, variable, perishable, those are the characteristics, and lack of ownership. So if you have right kind of people with proper mindset, these things can be minimized. The impact of these can be minimized. Don't you think so? Because if say service providers say, so today your counter person is very good and customers are very happy today. So tomorrow a new person comes, or another person comes, and counter service become very, very poor. How could that happen? Because one is the attitude of the employees. Maybe another reason may be training, the skill levels. So if skill levels are improved through training and other methods, so you can minimize the impact of changing staff. So that's why today banks are doing a lot of training on service quality to improve attitude, and multi-function or multi-skilled training. All those are necessary, useful to make sure that customers don't feel a difference in the service levels, irrespective of the service provider or service person. Now even the moods, now the attitude is positive throughout the day in everybody's mind, or everybody's mindset is to support the customer, then the variability issue cannot impact your service, right? So especially inseparability and variability can be minimized through training and multi-skilling and attitude or mindset, having building proper mindset in the employee. Now see, even this is also talking about the mindset. Now Mahatma Gandhi in long time, say about how long is it? About 150 years or so, more than 100 years, he has said very valid things. Still, this is valid. And this is even displayed in some of the Indian banks even now in India as a great statement by Mahatma Gandhi. This not only this is applicable to banks, it's applicable to all the commercial organizations providing services. So what does it say? The customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us. We are dependent on him. So some of the staff think customers are depending on us. It is not so, because it's a wrong mindset. We are depending on him, depending on them, because they are doing help. He is not an interruption of work. Is the purpose of it. Some staff members think customers are coming and interrupting their work. What work they are interrupting? Because customers are the purpose of us. So how can they be interruption? Isn't it? Some are complaining, "Ayyo, වැඩක් කරගන්න බෑ මේ customers ලා පිරෙලා හුස්ම ගන්න බෑ." You can't have mindset like that. He is not an interruption on our work. He is the purpose of it. He is not an outside on our business. He's a part of it. We are not doing him a favor serving him. He is doing a favor by giving us an opportunity to do so. What is the favor? Because he is giving us a chance for us to serve him and earn an income. So if the customers don't come to our branches, what will happen? If you continue to ignore the customers, thinking that they are real nuisance, interruption to our work, and they are an annoyance, then what will happen? After some time, no one will come to you. Then what will happen? You have to close down. So this mindset is very important. The customer is the most important person. All right. And another statement, which is very valid today. Customer is the boss. There never has been, there is not now, and there never will be any boss but the customer. So sometimes if somebody asks from you when you're in a branch situation, who is your boss? You might show somebody in the cubicle. No. You will show the branch manager. No. He's not the boss. You have to say, you are the boss to the customer. Don't you agree? Because he is the one, or customer is the one, boss, you must please. Everything we own, he has paid for. Don't you think so? He buys your home, your cars, your clothes. He pays for your vacations and puts your children through school. He will give you every promotion you will ever obtain during your lifetime or during your professional life. And he will discharge you if you displease him. Why? Because salaries are paid by customers. Through customers, salaries are paid from the income from the customers. If they don't pay us interest or commission, what will happen? Can we have our promotions every year or increments every year if they don't give us business and if we don't make profit? So end of the day, he has helped us to buy our home, our cars, and everything that we own. Agree or not agree? I think you are compelled to agree. Okay, so then get to the what I'm trying to tell you is the mindset is very, very important. And most of the issues that we have in the service area can be minimized if we have a very positive mindset towards serving the customers. It's all mindset, nothing else. But if you don't have a right mindset, nothing can change, nothing can help. Only God can help the organization, because it will go down. So it's the mindset and mindset. So everyone should have that positive mindset to serve the customer, because he is the person that we must please, not anybody else. So service quality is an approach to manage business processes in order to ensure full satisfaction of the customers and quality in services provided. It works as an antecedent of customer satisfaction. So what is the antecedent? It's a precursor to customer satisfaction. Without service quality, there's no customer satisfaction. If expectations are greater than performance, perceived quality is less than satisfactory, and hence customer dissatisfaction occurs. It is obvious, because customers have been given expectations and performance is lower than the expectation, or perception is lower than the expectation. Right? So serve call, so getting back to serve call model, is a service quality framework developed in the 1980s by a set of people, aiming at measuring the scale of quality in the service sectors. So serve call is purely to improve or basically aim or to measure the quality level in the service sectors. Serve call was originally measured on 10 aspects of service quality: reliability of service, responsiveness of employees, competence of employees, accessibility or access to the bank and the employees, courtesy of employees, communication from bank and the employees to the customer, credibility of the bank staff and the bank, security of and the safety of customer valuable documents, items and assets that we hold, understanding the customer, that is understanding what customers want, and the tangibles. So these are the 10 aspects or factors you must now survey in your questionnaire. So you have to cover all these 10 aspects. Service quality aspects: reliability, how reliable you are, how responsive you are, how competent your staff, access, whether the customers can easily access you, easy to access through phone or by physical methods or digital methods, courtesy or politeness of your staff, whether you communicate to customers in a language they understand. Credibility is basically the honesty, trustworthiness of staff. Security, the safety of customer valuable assets and documents. Whether the customer requirements are understood by the staff, and tangibles, what they see. So we'll explain as we go what these 10 factors or aspects are, because they are based on those only we measure the service quality. So in 1988, the 10 components were collapsed into 5 dimensions. To remember easily, you can remember it as RATER, R-A-T-E-R. One R is for reliability, T, tangibles, responsiveness, another R, remain distinct, but the remaining 7 components collapse into 2 aggregate dimensions, assurance and empathy. So RATER means reliability, assurance, tangibles, empathy and responsiveness. Right? So serve-call model is dependent on 3 major bases. So what are these 3 major bases? There are 5 gaps that create a void between the customer's expectation and the service delivered by the service provider. Organizations should measure, manage, and minimize these 5 gaps for successfully marketing of their service. You know, the serve-call model is based on 5 gaps. What are the gaps? Gaps between the expectation and the perceived service. What customers wanted, but what we have really delivered. So these gaps, so the 5 gaps there, researchers are talking about. So let's see what those. Then causes and solutions to bridge these gaps. Identifying the causes and appropriate solutions are very crucial to minimize the void or the gap. The key service dimensions, the aspects that should be stressed upon so as to allow the service to be adapted by targeted segments. So 3 things or 3 major areas: understanding the 5 gaps and causes and solutions to those gaps, and finally the key service dimensions. So remember, the serve call is built on understanding various gaps and then finding answers to minimize or finding solutions to minimize these gaps. And finally, they have spoken about 5 key dimensions for us to focus to sustain the service levels. So this is the gap. We call it gap model. It says there are 5 gaps that are created during a service operation. Normal service operation, there are 5 gaps that can be created. Actually, it is 4 gaps, but a combination of all the 4 gaps is the gap 5. So let's see what are these gaps. Gap 1, not knowing what customers expect. So this is another big issue. We don't know what customers want. Wrong service quality standards. If you don't know what customers expect, then how can you do a proper quality standard procedure? Because procedures will be also wrong when you don't know exactly customers' requirement. Then when your procedures are not as customers want, then your service performance also become weaker and there can be a gap created. Then on top of that, you promise do not match actual delivery. So with all these issues, you are promising a lot of things, but do not match actual delivery. You know, sometimes you would have seen, okay, before going to that, I will get into gap 5. So gap 5 is the difference between customer perception and expectation overall. So due to 4 of these gaps, the final gap, the difference between customer perception and expectation is created. So let's see how to explain this creation of gaps. So customers have expectations. So how do they create, or how do they uh, kind of make expectations? Word of mouth communication, what they have heard in the market. They have heard say that bank, a particular bank, service is very good, and their loans are given within very short period of time. They are giving good rates. Their service staff is very friendly. So those are the word of mouth they have heard. And also expectations are created because the customer has a particular personal need. Maybe urgently you require money to build or buy a house, buy a car, or buy a house. Urgent requirement, personal requirement. And another way to way customers create kind of have expectations because of their past experience. So there are customers who are with the bank for last say so many years, and they know the service has been good, and they expect the same service to continue or even improved service to continue. So this is how they this is what they expect, right? So now what? So customers have lot of very high expectations, but according to researchers, they say, but the management perception of customer expectation. So this is the problem. So although the customers have all these expectations built in them or have in them, management does not know about. So they think something else. So for example, now this particular customer, he needs a housing loan to buy a house immediately. So within 2 days he wants. And the management might think he needs a housing loan, but time is not an issue. So we will take our 7 days approval process and another 2-3 days for documentation. So we will give the loan in 10 days. Will the customer be happy? No. So for that, the customer expectation will have to be very, very clearly understood. Management just can't perceive things, imagine things. And customer have heard the bank staff is very friendly, word of mouth. But management maybe thinking, okay, that previous the staff we had previously was good. Now we don't have those skilled staff. Now we have a set of new trainees or interns. Now the service can go below the standard. No, that can't happen because customers expect a good service. So management will have to make sure that whether you have changed your staff or new set of staff or a new set of interns, whoever it is, the customer expect the same standard. So customers will have to be provided with that kind of service. So expectations is poor. So what happens is when managers don't know what the real perception of customers, real requirement of customers, then they go to the next level of translation of perceptions into service quality specifications. It means the procedures. So procedures may have a lot of delays, not practical, not customer centric. So as a result, service delivery right? Pre and post contact with customers can become disappointing, right? So service delivery, say customer, we take in the first example, customer wants a loan facility in 2 days because the vehicle lease or lease has to be given in 2 days. Otherwise, somebody else will buy it. But the management, the current procedure here is leasing can't be given within 2 days. It will take 5 days. Then what happens? So that is how the procedures are done. Because there's a regional manager approval needed, then head office approval needed, the risk department approval is needed. Then all these take time, and ultimately the service delivery, the final delivery to the customer is not as expected. And on top of that, they say some companies go and even communicate to the customers and promise various things, which we call external communications to customers. We give facilities over the counter and all those stories, but actually when customers goes to the bank only, they realize what they are promised are not done. So gap 1, 2, 3, 4 are ultimately contributing to the last gap called customer gap or gap 5. The customer perceive a different level compared to expected level. So that is the gap finally come to light, which is called customer gap. Okay. So in this gap model, a lot of things are spoken about the perception. So what is perception actually? Perception is the same universe is viewed differently by different person. Because perception is just a feeling. It's viewed different by different persons. It is the process through which the information from outside environment is selected, received, organized, and interpreted to make it meaningful to us. It is the process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. So perceptions will vary from customer to customer. Because that's why some customers say your service is good, whilst another customer say your service is bad. How can that happen? Because different customers have different perceptions. So our challenge is to understand everyone's perceptions and deliver to their expectations. So the one major mistake that we do is that we promise many things that we cannot deliver. Don't ever promise more than you can deliver, but always deliver more than you promise. But at least even deliver more than you promise, at least deliver what you promise. Now this is happening in our country from low level to small level to high level, starting from our organizations to the government sector and to the political administration. They promise various things during the elections, but don't deliver anything at all. Disaster. So this happens in organizations as well. At least we should avoid it in our organization. If we can't deliver, we should not promise. Right? So what happens is, if you promise very, very high or over promise and you don't deliver, then a major issue. You are going to fall in the gap. The gap is becoming wider and you cannot bridge that gap. Right. So, okay. So let me get a feedback. So up to now, what do you think? You got what I have said? Are you all with me up to now? Yes or no? Or anything not clear? Are you agreeing with me 100%? Or give a rating 100% or 20% or 80% or 50%? Are you agreeing with me with what I said with regard to service quality and the quality gaps? Very good. 100% agree. You are with me 100%. Right. Let's see who others. And by right, Shifani agreeing, but not to what extent. I want the extent. If somebody is not agreeing to 100%, better we discuss. Because of I say don't agree to 100%, but we can argue. Okay, 100%. Right, Shifani, 100%. Samo, yes sir, 100%. Avishka, yes. Avishka Javadhan. At least you agree with what I said. Others are sleeping or 3-4 people only responded. Agree to what extent? Please, please. We are running out of time. You need a break also, I think. Yeah. Agreed. Yasodha. Yasodhya. Yes. Others are not agreeing or they're not. Because if you are not agreeing to 100%, no point of doing the survey also, because you are, unless there's a problem, yes, unless there's a problem, you don't have to survey anything. No, if you think, if you don't agree, then there's no point of doing a survey because there's no problem. Yes, Asanka, yes. I hope you are not saying it because of I am asking you, but some customers take our service as granted. Good point. Poor soul. Yeah. So that is the problem in our country. You know that I really like that comment. Oh, some people don't complain; they just take it as it, take it for granted, which is not kind of acceptable in today's, because today the customer are very demanding, and they deserve that kind of service also. Because if what will happen, this happen in government sector. So government sector, you can't challenge. You cannot see the level of service is very poor, but there's no one to challenge. It's taken for granted. Poor people are going to offices, government, say provincial council officers, AGA officers, and remain in their hours and days, and so this is a poor show. Of course, private sector banks, I think maybe we are talking about state banks. Private sector customers are generally complaining. They expect, because it's logical, no, they expect value for the price they pay. So it's logical. So that feedback, because when customers give feedback, it's good, because then because of that feedback, we can refine and improve our service levels also. Don't you think so? If we don't get the feedback, we don't know where we are. So one way we must thank our customers who are complaining, because they show us the real level we are in. Otherwise, we think we are the best. So we will never improve them. So we must thank the customers who are complaining, maybe complaining and giving constructive suggestions is better, without just complaining for nothing. So complain on a purpose. Logical complaints are welcome, because it will help us to improve our service level. So do you need a break? Say yes or no. We are taken about 1.5 hours. Break needed, or say yes for break or no? Or in 15 minutes time, you break? Hello? Nilusha, yes? Okay, sir. We'll have a break. Anyone else? Now or later? Yes, sir. Avishka? Quickly. Some people are very quickly responding. I really like that. Need? Yes. Okay. What do you mean? Okay. We'll take a break. Very good. Right. Take a break. Yes. Avantika. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So, yeah. Like that. Super. I need your responses, then it'll keep me motivated. Otherwise, I am also pretty sleepy. Right. We'll take 15 minutes break. Now 2:55 will 3:50, 3:10. We'll meet up at 3:10. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Yes, Nirushi, yes. Everyone is back. Right. Let's. Thank you, Manisha. Yes. Good. Thank you. Okay. So far, I hope you are good. So far, so good. Right. Now let's. So we discuss about 5 gaps. Let's take one by one in detail, quickly, and yeah. Gap 1, commonly known as management perception gap. As I said, gap 1 results from a difference between what customers expect and what management perceives these expectations to be. It indicates a problem with the understanding of the market. This can occur as a result of insufficient research and communication failure. So this is the issue. Now, how does this gap 1 created? Gap 1 is created due to insufficient research and or communication failures. So there's no dialogue between the managers and the customers and the contact staff, right? So that's the reason for gap 1, right? So gap 2, the commonly known as quality specification gap. Gap 2 results from a difference between management perceptions of what customers expect and the specifications that management draws up when detailing the service quality delivery actions that are required. Right? Give me 1 second. So as I said, the gap 2 is created. The service design and performance standards are prerequisites for bridging this gap. Most hotels do not do housekeeping in a room on the day the customer is checking out, but the management realized that the customer who is doing a late checking out wants a clean room during the day. So so these where the quality specifications. Now, the hotel, for example, hotel might think the day you check out, the room will not have to be done up or clean. So that may be a wrong perception of the management, because even the guests who are waiting maybe even after 12 might need a clean room, although it's a checking out day. Don't you think so? So hotel has very freely ignored the fact that even the day checking out day, the customers want a clean room. So that's an example. So what should have done was, even if they are charging even for a half day, the management should have made it a procedure to clean up the room, instruct the housekeeping to clean up the room even the particular guest is checking out on the day in a hotel, right? So that's something like that can be an example for a specification gap, a quality specification gap. If you take, say, let's take a bank situation. So sometimes managers might think customer doesn't want a lease facility within a day. So customers might need it within 2-3 days. They will discuss with the supplier and keep it open for the bank to do it, take in 2-3 days time. It may not be so, because some vehicle sales, people want to sell it on the same day. So that is where the private sector companies, like finance companies, go to the doorstep to the vehicle dealer and deliver the purchase order same day. And doing that, they grab the banking business. So customer is unhappy because bank couldn't do it, but the customer has get the facility within a day through a finance service provider or finance company. So managers of the bank should really ask the customers exactly within which period do you want the facility. Just imagining or thinking that customer doesn't want that facility in a hurry won't make any good to the bank. So that's where the customers get disappointed. The service delivery gap. Gap 3 results from a mismatch between the service delivery specification required by management and the actual service that is delivered by frontline staff. It is the difference between customer-driven service design standards and the service delivery of the provider. Managers need to audit the customer experience that the organization currently delivers in order to make sure it lives up to the expected level. Sometimes another problem can occur. The bank, without doing the internal process properly, they just promise we will give the facility in 5 days. Say, take a housing loan. But suddenly, without banks control, due to some reason, the approval can get delayed. So can we explain that to the customer? No, it's not possible, because we have promised it to give within 5 days. But actually, it doesn't happen as promised. Now, if you take, say, Pizza Hut in Sri Lanka, now they are promising, okay, we will deliver you a hot food within 45 minutes, and they deliver globally that promise. I think, right? So Pizza Hut is the company who could because they, in order to give the customer that kind of promise, they refine their internal systems, the kitchen and the food making process, so that they can openly tell the world that we can deliver you within 45 minutes of your order. 45 minutes of your order, the hot food is delivered, right? And they went further and said, if we don't deliver within 45 minutes, we will give the food item free. You remember that? So that is why, you know, that there's a movie called that Spider-Man or something. That boy is a delivery boy who is flying and running, and because going to deliver within the expected promised time. Otherwise, that boy has to pay the penalty for the delay. But can we promise like that? But if we are promising a customer and we provide that service within a certain period of time, we have to make sure that our procedures, our processes, and our service quality specifications are properly done in-house, so that without difficulty, maybe you have adequate resources to be allocated for that purpose, and the divisions to be strengthened to deliver that kind of promise. And I have seen sometime before, Standard Chartered has sent out SMSs. They will give a personal loan within 24 hours. So they openly say that we will give you a facility, personal loan facility, within 24 hours, overnight, right? So that to do that, Standard Chartered would have done their internal specification and procedures properly to suit and accommodate that kind of service delivery, right? So it can be done, but only thing, it has to be done by the management. They have to properly strengthen the divisions, resource allocations to be done to the requirement. And without doing all that, you just promise, and it become a broken promise. So broken promises are the worst thing that can happen in an organization, which will create a lot of disappointment of the customer. So the other gap 4 is about the market communication gap. This is the gap between the delivery of the customer experience, what is communicated to customers, the discrepancy between actual service and the promised one. Because on the same time, as I said, you promise. Now, like, now if Pizza Hut says we will deliver within 45 minutes, if not, we will pay the fine, or we will absorb the cost. That's fine, because so there's a cost to that mistake. But for a bank, they will say, okay, we will give you the facility in 5 days. But if the customer doesn't get it in 5 days, what is the penalty? No penalty, because a customer still will have to wait for days and days still to get the facility. So don't you think it's a disappointment? So that's why it said, if you are promising, you have to deliver. So you promise and don't deliver creates a huge disappointment, and it creates bad service quality. So final gap, so commonly known as perceived service quality gap. Gap 5 may be identified as the overall difference between the expected service and the perceived service experience. Gap 5 results from the combination of group gap 1 to 4, as I said. Customers' expectations have been shaped by word of mouth, their personal needs, and their own past service experiences. Unless gap 5 is kept under check, it may result in a loss of customers, bad reputation, and negative corporate image. So this is the issue now. Now customer service gap is created due to combination of gap 1, 2, 3, 4, and how do okay, the causes we have discussed, but how can we minimize these gaps? That's what we have discussed also. But let's see some of these examples. XYZ Events Limited organized a wedding with the usual white and blue decorations. When the customer had expected something new and original. So what had happened there? Because the event company has organized a wedding with usual white and blue decoration, but customer had expected something new. So again, the management of the event management company doesn't, they don't know what customers actually wanted. Right? So it may due to various reasons: lack of marketing orientation, or interrupted information about the customer expectation, research not focused on demand quality, too many layers between frontline personnel and top level management. So this also happen in banks. Sometimes the front office level staff know what customers really want, but it is not communicated to the managers because of the layers, lot of layers in between. So unless management have a system to listen to front office staff on a regular basis, they won't know. So management must have a system to listen to front office customer contact people regular basis. Right? XYZ the gap 2. XYZ perceived that customer wanted a very nice reception with at least 2 waiters at each table, but management eventually decided otherwise to reduce cost. So the customer in a particular reception, customer had expected for each table 2 waiters to service the customers, but the hotel management, due to staff unavailability, decided otherwise. So they didn't put 2 waiters for each table. So what are the causes? Inadequate commitment to service quality, lack of perception of feasibility, inadequate task standardization, absence of goal setting, insufficient planning of procedures. Maybe they didn't have enough resources to apply. But if the customer had wanted and we have promised something, that has to be given to them. Then gap 3, Events Limited had promised the most exquisite catering and wedding cake, but the food was not appreciable and the bride did not like the cake at all. Right? So bride would have expected some exclusive, exquisite wedding cake, but no one is bothered about it because it has not been properly communicated and no action taken. Gap 4 example: XYZ Limited promised to have a Mercedes limousine for entry of the groom, but eventually the groom was given a simple Nissan Sunny. So Mercedes vehicle was promised, but only Nissan vehicle was given. So this can happen. Promise do not match with delivery. So finally, the causes for the final gap is occurrence of all this, the total combination of the 4 gaps that we discussed. Right? Okay. So measures. Now, solutions to these gaps. How to bridge these gaps. Now, the gap one. What is the solution? Use of good customer relationship management techniques to profile and know customer expectations, taste, and needs. So that is something that bank must do. So we should have good CRM techniques or system to profile our customers and know their needs and requirements. Then to minimize gap two, managers need to make sure organization is defining the level of service that they believe is needed. Right? XYZ Limited could have offered preset wedding packages at different parties with different service that then customers know this is what they are getting. But just saying it in words will not take you anywhere. So customer should be very clearly said at the beginning, this is what you'll be getting. Then customer will not disappoint. Service gap 3. Managers need to audit the customer experience that their organization currently delivers in order to make sure it lives up to the expected level. XYZ events need to ask customers to give their past experience feedback. So maybe one way is to minimize this gap or reduce the gap is to get feedback from the customers, how they have felt about your service. Now that is why banks also need to get some customer surveys done, because otherwise we think we are doing giving the best service, although it is not so. Unless you get a feedback, you don't know, right? So that is why even this class I am getting your feedback. Otherwise, I perceive that I may perceive as you understand what I am saying here and you agree to what I am saying. So that's why I'm trying to get your feedback so that I know better whether you agree or not. Then I just can't perceive it. I just can't imagine that you know this or you know that. It doesn't work that way. So getting feedback, if you really want to provide a good customer service, the feedback is very, very crucial. Otherwise, we don't know. Then comes the gap 4. Use of good communication skills and avoid ambiguous or fraudulent terms to confuse, mislead the customer. So I said, events limited should clearly inform the customer about something that will not be possible to implement. If you cannot implement, tell them your package does not include this, and we'll do something and we'll look at it. No, it won't work, because then customers will have expectations. So very clear cut, banks will have to say, okay, this loan is approved during this period. We'll need 7 days. It can be less than that, but don't tell the customer that you can give it before 7 days, because customer will expect it to come in 5 days. Then if you are not able to give it in 5 days, then you are at fault. So it should be very logical that, right? Now, say for example, now so you customers call and you say, okay, I will call you in 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes, I will call. But you never call in 10 minutes. Then what happens? But you don't realize the damage that you are making to the organization, because you promise something, but you don't deliver it. For you, it may be okay. You call maybe after 1 hour, but you had promised to call in 10 minutes. So culturally, we have a problem that we promise just for sake of promising. We say, okay, we'll promise this and that, but don't keep the promise. The final gap: application of all the above measures to make sure the service delivered meets the expectation of the customer. So so a lot of gaps are created in this means the 4 gaps are created mainly due to perceptions and things taken for granted, not being logical, or not being serious about the promises. So these are things that we do every day. We are very complacent about customer service. We think customer will be happy because, as someone said earlier, some customers don't complain. They just, but we don't know. They don't complain and they don't do banking with us. Also, they will slowly go to some other bank, because not all remember, not all customers are complaining. They will silently move away without your knowledge. So you can be the user, because those days the customers used to close the account and go, but today they don't do that. They won't close the account, but they will reduce business with you, reduce operations with you. They will go and open second account, third account, or fourth account with another competitor. So unless so you don't know, but you think we have all the customers, nothing, no customer has closed the account and gone, but really the volume has reduced. So finally, understanding all these gaps and causes and solutions that we discuss here, right? So these 5 gaps, and we understood the causes. I am explaining to you all this. This understanding will help you to design your questions in such a way that then you can get a real feedback about the service quality level of your bank. So what are these 5 dimensions which we remember as RATER? Responsiveness, assurance, tangibles, empathy, and reliability. So willingness to help customers and provide prompt service. So we should be willing to help customers because they are, as Mahatma Gandhi said, they are not an interruption. They are purpose of our being there. They are our bosses. So we need to be responsive to them. We should be willing to help them. Assurance, knowledge, courtesy of employees, and the ability to convey trust and confidence. So we must give assurance to the customer, and we should be knowledgeable as bankers, and we should be courteous and able to build trust. We'll explain it further. Tangibles, the things that are physically seen in a bank. What are the physically seen things? The building, equipment, even staff, communication materials, leaflets, bank vehicles, all those are tangibles. Empathy, caring individual attention to the customers. Empathy is caring individual attention. Reliability, ability to perform the promised service dependably and accurately. So this is a serious thing. So sometimes we promise things and customers find it we are not dependable. We don't keep our words. Same thing. All right. So let's. This will help you to build your cases. The questions. Responsiveness means to respond quickly, promptly, rapidly, immediately, and instantly. Even if customers are chronically slow in getting back to providers, responsiveness is very crucial in their service quality assessment. Whether in 30 minutes, 4 hours, or 24 hours, it is important that customer feel providers are promptly respond to their request at any time. Not only for emergencies, but even for everyday responses as well. Sometimes I have seen when customers come inside the branch, some officers they are doing their work without attending to the customer. They are on a call or something else, or they are talking to some another staff. The customers are just waiting in front. So don't ever do that, because when customer come in front of you, is before you, in front of you, then he is the priority. You keep the caller to wait or borrow some time that you will respond, because the customer in person in front of you is your priority. Don't ever ignore the customer, but they don't like it. And sometimes when customers ask some information, we don't even acknowledge. Say customer asks some balances or some clarification, we don't even reply immediately. If we can't reply immediately, send the acknowledgement saying that we have received your request. We'll reply in 2 days or something like that. Then you are responding to the customer. Otherwise, the customer has sent an email, no response. After 5 days, you are sending a response, but that time the customer is disappointed. So he has not got any intimation from you that you have noted this request. Now, right? Okay. Now let me. It reminds me a story about Apollo. Now Apollo Hospital is no more. It is Lanka Hospital, right? Apollo came into Sri Lanka a few years before, and that's the time actually we. I myself did a small study on Apollo customer service. I mean, it's very interesting to see how Apollo treats their customers, how responsive they are, how caring they are. Even Apollo, Apollo stands for, Apollo is an Indian brand. It This was displayed. I took a photo picture from what is displayed in the lobby that time. So Apollo stands for what? A people-oriented, life-saving, life-enhancing organization. So that's the short word for Apollo. All right. And I had a lot of good experiences with Apollo. Even before I did my customer service study with Apollo, I one day happened to go there. I will tell you this story very quickly. How responsive they are to the customers, and it was about I think 3 o'clock in the evening. I went to collect a medical report. As you enter the Apollo hospital, there's a kind of open area. Left to that, there's a report collection division. All right. And I went to that counter, and that girl there said, "Sir, give me 5 minutes till I uh, prepare your report. Report is there, but I will organize it and give it to you. You can be waited or seated on the other side. There was a passage, and there were some chairs, and some customers were seated. And I went and sat there, right next to report collecting counter. And I said it's about 3 o'clock in the evening, and so I think going through my phone or something, and I suddenly saw a lady nurse pushing a food cart, where the food is served to patients and all, with coffee, tea, and all that. She was pushing a cart through the passage, and I was looking out other side. I was looking actually down, and suddenly I saw one nurse coming and offering me a cup of coffee. Right, the disposable in a disposable cup. She's offering me a coffee juice. Then I said, I'm not a patient, because up to that date, we never have that experience. Had that experience. right? Hospital visitors ever heard getting a cup of coffee? So I said, no, miss, I am not a patient here. I am to collect a report. No, no, sir, it's okay. This for you. And she gave me the 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 cup of coffee. You know, that time actually we used to drink tea. That time I was really, really delighted me. I never expected. So see how they by spending small sum of money, trying to even exceed the expectation of the customers. Like that, there were few others on the passage seated. For all of them, they give coffee or tea as they wanted, and push away. This is what I am saying. A little thing that can go a long way. So I never expected coffee from Apollo uh, when I went to collect a medical report. So see how beautifully they are. They are doing that to delight their customers, right? And another story, when I actually went one day with one of my aunties to their eye section, which is they have a separate eye section, uh, right? Um, which was in a different floor, and the doctor saw the patient and gave some medicine, and then we were coming out uh, of that particular area, and suddenly I saw a attendant, hospital attendant, running behind us with a small booklet in hand, and he came and uh, gave it to me, and doctor asked this to be given to you all, and went away. So then I saw, what is this booklet? There's a booklet giving some tips and precautions for the disease, eye disease that my auntie had, uh, as a service to the patient. A little booklet to how to safeguard, even is even useful for us, how to safeguard your eyes from diseases and other external things. So see how lovely that is now. So doctor and has spoken to give it to the patient, and given to attendant to run behind us and giving it to us. That level of customer service. So another hospital, it will never happen in anybody's life. I don't think this kind of things can happen in hospital. Coming behind and giving booklets, coming and giving teas or coffee to the patients, visitors, right? And subsequently, when I did with sheer interest, I did study on Apollo's customer service, and it's unbelievable the things they are doing, small things they do to enhance lives of people. They are really living up to this thing, the people-oriented, life-saving and life-enhancing organization. And Apollo doctors that time have been asked to give 10 minutes minimum to their patients. Apollo, you book a time and you go on that time. You don't have to, like in our other hospital, you book a time for 4:30 and the doctor comes at 8:30 or 9:30 or 10:30 in the night. But Apollo, it doesn't happen, because if you say 2:30, it's 2:30, and you are given 10 minutes time with the doctor. You can ask whatever questions and clarify anything. But in our Sri Lankan hospitals, even you channel and you pay money, a doctor is rushing. As you go, they start writing something, and quickly within a minute they want us to get out to serve the another one. For a day, there are maybe hundreds of patients are visit check, but Apollo, there's a limited number of patients can be seen by a doctor each day. Why? Because to give that kind of time, deserving attention to the patients. So that is how the Apollo service is built. Their responsiveness, willingness to help the patients are unbelievable. Sadly, now Apollo is no more. So I don't know, with the Lanka hospital, Sri Lankan government owned thing, Sri Lanka Insurance corporation, one thing, I don't know that level of service, all vanished now. But this is the beauty of Apollo Hospital. Then the assurance is a combination of following. Giving assurance to the customer is part of the service dimensions. Competence, courtesy, credibility, security. Having the request skills and knowledge. So, we need to have the competence in our staff. They should be trained properly. They should have the skills and knowledge. Courtesy. Our staff should be very polite and respect and friendly to our customers. No question about it. And I've seen some of our contact staff, they don't even smile at the customers. They don't even look at customers eye to eye. They just see customer as another hindrance or another interruption. Credibility, trustworthiness or believability and honesty of staff. The credibility, bankers are custodians of others' money. So you think we can play around with their money? No, because customers trust us. That's why they are keeping their money and valuables with us. And that is why you need to be very honest, and customers should be able to believe in us and trust in us. Security, freedom of danger, risk of doubt, to feel in good hands. Sometimes a lot of time I have seen in my life, banking life, our staff misplacing the documents of the customers. Sometimes deeds are misplaced, life policies, vehicle registrations are misplaced. Sometimes even gold pawning packets are misplaced. Items are mixed up, gold items that are pawned. So these things impact the service quality, because customers have a lot of trust and faith in us. So we are custodians because they think we are custodians and trustees of their valuables. That's why they are keeping it without keeping it anywhere else. They are keeping it in the bank. So we should maintain and keep the trust. I can tell you one story. When I was in one of the outstation regions as regional head, and in one of the branches, they have misplaced a CR book of a passenger bus. So story came like this. One day I went to office in the morning. My office was in the upstairs of the building and downstairs of the branch, and I got a call from very with high sound. Are you the regional manager? Then I said, the voice, I saw something is wrong. I got the call about, I think, 8:30 in the morning. Where the regional manager? Otana. Yes, OM ka karan no. නෑ මට මම අර මැනේජර් මරනවා. Right? He said, I said, මට දැන් තේරුණා, I thought there's something radically big mistake somebody has done. Then he referred some branch. අර branch එකේ අරුව මරනවා. Right? මොකද්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මට පොඩක් කියන්න, මම දන්නේ නැහැ. මගේ බස් එක මට බස් කරන්නේ, මම බස් 10ක් 15ක් මට තියෙනවා. මේ පැත්තේම බස් මම කරන්නේ. මගේ බස් එකට මම ලෝන් එකක් අරන් මේක ලෝන් එක ගෙවලා ගොඩක් කල් මම දැන් බස් එක විකුණන්න යද්දී පොත නැහැ කියලා බැංකුවෙන් කියනවා. බැංකුවේ කට්ටිය පොත නැති කරලා මට දැන් මේ බස් එකේ ගෙනියන්න සල්ලි තරම් මිනිහෙක් ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නවා. මට දැන් මේ බස් එක විකුණ ගන්න බෑ පොත නැතුව. තමසලගේ බැංකුවේ මේක නැති කරලා. That's the word he said. මට පොත දුන්නේ නැත්නම් අද මම මොකක් මරනවා මැනේජර්, right? It was a matter the manager marna, it was a potreta mawad right? So then I said, Matya Chutakin, I called the particular branch manager. Actually, the bus, the certificate test got misplaced, and they have sent to head office for registration and mortgage cancellation, and something has happened. This happened few years before, and now vehicle is not there. The CR is not there. Customer is right because he's a thug. To see he's a thug in that area. He's running a bus company, and he's a person who can kill us without in a battle of eyelid. He can do that. So he has people, underworld people around him. So worst thing is I so couldn't give a solution because suddenly you can't take a duplicate document also from the RMV because it will take 2-3 days anyway, or at least 2 days. So I told him, and then luckily I managed to talk to the buyer of the vehicle. I talked to the buyer and pleaded him, and I even offered to give a letter to him. This CR is there. We will give you that in 2-3 days once we definitely find it. And till then, you do the transaction, and you can give the money, but you can you can hold us responsible to give you the CR book and the other required documents within 2 days. So I personally talked to the buyer, who was anyway a good gentleman. At the end of the day, the thug managed to sell the bus to this person, and he got the money and matter solved. So, but see the danger of having such a carelessness of a person, of maybe some staff being careless. I don't know whether it's branch level or head office level, but ultimately it came to a situation that poor manager would have been killed. Luckily, I got involved and then able to sort it out. Otherwise, that man would have been dead by now. Right? That was the time actually underworld was really active in that area during that period. Because for a small thing, they will kill people. So it can even it's beyond customer service quality and even gone beyond the level of service quality and to the killer level. So this what I have to share with you with regard to assurance and the security component of what we are doing, and this customer service quality can be really affected. So this particular thug would have respected us as bankers, but he lost all that trust on us after we had misplaced his document. Right? Then comes the other element, tangibles. These all the physically visible and touchable, even though the best important dimension appearance matters. The least important, sorry. The service providers will still want to make certain their employee appearance, uniforms, equipment, and work areas on site. Process service officers, etc. look good. The danger is for providers who can make everything look sharp and then fall short on reliability and responsiveness. Now, reliability and responsiveness are the most important elements in this rater dimensions, right? Remember, because if you are not reliable and responsiveness, the customer service can really be really can be poor. And tangibles means even not only, remember, as I said, not only the building, not only the car park, not only the lobby or the furniture, but even the employees. You need to dress properly, you need to dress professionally, and that's why some banks are using uniforms, giving uniforms to staff. And because it gives the tangibles, gives some good impression to the customers, because services are intangible, no? So only thing that they see can create some good impression about. Now when you go to, for example, when you go to KFC or McDonald's, right? Even before eating the food, what do you feel? Don't you feel good? Because it is very clean, very nicely kept environment, uniform staff, nicely arranged tables and other equipments, very clean walls, clean tables, clean floors, uh, cleaning staff around all the time, well kept, well maintained. So even before you eat, right, you feel good. And as against if you go to a say hotel, some hotel in PETA side, near PETA bus stand, there are hotels. What do you feel? Because it is everything is on the floor, unwashed cups and saucers, unwashed glasses, not unclean tables, uh, paper surveyed everywhere on top of tables and down, unclean, untidy. So do you feel good? Even before you eat, you feel very bad. So this is called tangibles. Surrounding, especially for a service. A hotel is a service operation because all the food is one element. Service part also uh, uh, is important. We go to hospital. Now you go to private hospital as against the government hospital. Some remote government hospital may not be kept very well, maybe untidy because maintenance is poor. But you go to a city hospital, private sector, you feel good. Even they charge high amount of charges, fees. Still you go there. Why? Because you want that environment. You like that environment. So this is the strength of tangible. So remember, your place should be very kept very professionally, very neat. And I have seen when you go to some bank branches, the walls are not color washed for a long time, and there are fungus on the walls, and ceilings are not painted for a long time. Furniture is broken, fabric is torn on some chairs. So these are all bad tangibles, right? So take it your be mindful about those things. Now HNB, now there are all the banks spent millions and millions of money. Why? Because they want to improve the tangibles. Because clean interior, exterior, sufficient room, lobby, this makes customer feel good when they go to a bank building. That's why today a lot of banks have really improved their tangibles in terms of customer lobby, car parking, furniture, computers, all that is seen by the customers. Millions of millions are spent on this because it is part of the service quality. Right. Then comes the empathy, the other dimension in the rater principles. Empathy is the capacity to recognize feelings that are being experienced by another person. Someone may need to have a certain amount of empathy before they are able to feel compassion. So empathy is a combination of following: communication, keeping customers informed in a language they understand, and really listening to them, understanding the customer, making the effort to get to know customers and their specific needs while trying to where they are. Empathy includes the communication, because sometimes I have seen some of our staff members talk to customers in a language even they don't understand. Customers who are single speaking, they talk in English. Maybe our staff members want to show that they know English, or don't know something else. They maybe their ignorance, so making the customers very uncomfortable, right? I remember when I was in a outstation branch manager a long time before. Our officers used to wear ties when they go out. So after some time, I realized going in the villages with ties are kind of distancing us from the village-based customers. So they are either scared or are uncomfortable to talk to guys, bankers or bank staff in ties. So I said, don't go with ties when you go to villages, especially the field officers. Right, you wear ties when you are inside the office, that's okay. But when you go to the outside, especially the villages, don't wear ties. You're distancing yourself. And also, don't go and talk in English. Don't use any English word. Use all singular words, because these people are very, very poor in understanding. We have to be friendly and make them comfortable to deal with us. All right. I will tell you one story how innocent some of our people are. When I was in one of the outstation branches, the private bank branches are air conditioned, right? So air conditioned branches are generally, doors are closed. No? Doors are closed, and even on this branch was in a kind of hot area in the north central province, and one day one customer told me, the customer in the adjoining shop, මාත්‍යා ගොඩක් මිනිස්සු ඇවිල්ලා හැරිලා යනවා. මම ගාව මොකද? මාත්‍යාගේ දොරවල් වහලානේ. දැන් අනිත් බැංකු ඔක්කොම තියෙන බැංකු ඔක්කොම බැංකු කියන්නේ ඒ කාලේ we were the first private bank in that area. All the other state banks were there operating in that city, in that town. So because we have air conditioned branch, doors are tinted and closed. Customers think that we are closed, and they don't come to us, and they go to somewhere else, any other bank. So ultimately, what happened? I had to keep a security guard at the door, because that time we didn't have security guards at the doors. I'm talking about some long time back. I had to have a special person at the door to open the door when they come. But we can't keep the door open because it's air conditioned. So it's the level that unless you understand the level of ignorance or level of knowledge and understanding of customers, and for a little thing they can get upset or get because they are so innocent people, ignorant people, but they have money. So that's it. And also when they come, you need to talk to them as a very friendly, in a very friendly communication mode, without upsetting them or making them uncomfortable. And some village customers, they are scared to go to private sector banks because we are in ties, and they might think that we'll talk to them in English or some other language that they don't understand. So they are scared. So don't scare the customers, to make them feel comfortable even before they come to the bank. So that's empathy. Understanding, you're able to step into others' shoes and think. So if you are in that position, what you would do? This empathetic approach is something that you must develop in you all, because empathy is a very, very crucial subject. A lot of problems occur because of we don't have empathy. We don't understand others' feelings. That's why we are fighting each other, and right, maybe in the office, not only in office, even at home, and even in the society. So there'll be a good reason for other people to fight with us. We must understand that, and we must give a solution to that issue, not not to the person. So if you really able to understand others' feelings and step into our customers' shoes and think in their point of view, the things will be very good for everyone. You agree with me? So empathy is the ability to sense how another thinks and feels, although we have no knowledge of the state of mind of others. So when your spouse is pregnant, you also pregnant because that's how you understand the feelings of the lady. Because she's in physical and mental difficulty. You must as spouse, you must understand that and behave accordingly. Reliability: do what you say you are going to do when you said you are not going to do it, because customers won't count on their provider. So reliability is another dimension, I said, which is very important, because we don't keep our promises. It is 3 times more important to be reliable than have shiny new equipment or flashy uniforms. Right? There's no point of having flashy uniforms and new equipment if you're not reliable. Doesn't mean you can have rugged uniform and only be reliable. Service providers have to do both. Both providers' first and best effort are better spent making service reliable. So all the elements will have to be, you have to be mindful that all the dimensions are covered. All right. So-called is considered very complex, subjective, and statistically unreliable. The simplified rater model, however, is a simple and useful model for qualitatively exploring and assessing customers' service experiences. It is an efficient model in helping an organization shape up their efforts in bridging the gap between perceived and expected service. Right, so-called is used to track customers' expectations and perceptions over time to compare the company's so-called scores against competitors. Although so-called face and construct validity are in doubt, it is widely used in modified forms later to measure customer expectations and perceptions of service quality. Now, what does it say? So, although the gap model is looking a little bit complex, but the rater model is more simple. So you can use these dimensions to frame your questions. Key service dimensions: responsiveness, assurance, tangibles, empathy, reliability. Okay. So let's see some sample questions that, and then we'll go back, go to the questions if you have any. Now, this is a type of question here that you can design to get the feedback of the sample of customers. Right. You cover tangibles through some of these questions, and also in the questionnaire you can ask the customer, because it's based on expectations and perceptions. expectations from one side. Now this is what customer expect, and this is what customer perceive currently. Say take for example NDB Bank, say Nugegoda branch for example, right? I'm just taking example. In terms of tangible, up-to-date equipment and installment facilities of your bank. Up-to-date equipment and instrument facilities of your bank. How important it to the customer? Say customer says 4. And level of satisfaction with this item, customer says 2. So he is expecting a scoring of 4, given fair weightage on up-to-date equipment, but his perception about Nugegoda and NDB providing it is 2. So customer will give the expectation score here and perception score here. Why you won't have expectation score? Because then when you have a higher expectation, then your perception also will have to be high. Otherwise, you have a high expectation score, but very low perception. That means your gap is very wide. At the same time, if you have 5 as your expectation score, and you have perception also 5, then you are through, because customer has high priority on that, and you have provided, delivered also to that high level. Take another question. Bank's physical facilities should be visually appealing. That means when customer enters the bank, it is very, very nicely structured. The branch is properly well maintained. Say customer score is 3, expectation. Moderately, customer expects 3 and he gets 3. He perceives it's okay. Employees of your bank should be well dressed and appear neat. So whether NDB Bank, Nugegoda people are well dressed and appear neat. Customer think it is they like the customer employees, customer contact employees to be well dressed and appear neat. High score 5. But customer perception is 3. They think some staff is not very well dressed and do not appear neat. Right? Take some example from another variable. Reliability. Bank should be dependable. High expectation, because definitely customers expect 5 as customer, but say dependability is 4. Bank promises to do something by a certain time, they should do. Customer expect 5, bank delivers 4. So there's a gap. Bank should provide their services at the time they promise to do. Say bank say, okay, within 30 minutes I will give you the document. Customer expect high, but you give it in the following day. Poor show. Perception is poor. Like that, right? Responsiveness. Bank should provide prompt service. Take B. Employees of bank should always willing to help customers. Expectation is 5. They expect the employees to help you willingly, but sometimes they feel some staff not willingly help them. The customers also feel they are treated as a nuisance or a interruption. Employees, next, assurance. Employees of bank should be polite. They expect say 4 expectation, but 3 is the score they have given. Right. Then bankers should give individual attention to the customers. They expect, say Nugegoda type customers may be expecting very high. They want individual attention, maybe high value customers. Bank score is 3. For sure. Example I'm saying. Bankers should try to know what your needs are. And definitely we expect very high. Where we expect bank to know as customers, but the bank provide say 3. Again, moderate. So, this is how you can structure your question sample. Don't copy the same question, but you can refine or rephrase it according to suit your bank. You can even, but mostly questions should be focused around these 5 dimensions: empathy, assurance, responsiveness, and reliability, and tangibles. So then you are covering all the 5 dimensions, and you have questions say about 2025, and you get a feedback. If you want, you can even increase the number of questions. For each, you can have about 5 questions. So just to tick it now. Here you have 4 questions. 5 or 6 questions you can, then 6 into 5, 30 questions you can decide. This will be very interesting for you to do it, because then you cover most of the service quality dimensions or issues in the survey. And another thing that I must tell you, when you do the survey, it's very important that you select the right sample and don't just take some 50 odd customers or 20 or 30 customers. At least you take 30 to 50 customers, but customers should be from different segments. Say, if you take say Nugegoda, for example, there are business customers. That means corporates or business customer partnerships and proprietor, those type of one category. Another set of customers will be professionals. Another set, you can take it down, right? Another set of customers who are senior citizens. And another set of customers who are individual businessmen. Another set of customers who are say 18 plus, but age wise they are under say below 30. They are just beginning in their life cycle, right? Then you can take some women customers if you want, female customers, and so you can, based on age, income. Also, you can take some high net worth customers, VIP customers, high net worth individuals. Also, you can take another category. Professionals, as I said, maybe lawyers, doctors in one category. They might feel into high net worth, but so take and also when you select the sample, remember you make sure the sample should represent the total customer base. Otherwise, you are doing a sample of all customers from business crowd, then you are not doing the right thing. Another set of, I don't know if it's possible, you can even look at mine accounts. Maybe through parents who have mine accounts, you can give to their parents and give a rating. But of course, in this, it may be a little difficult, but you cover the other segments, like as I said, individual customers, individual business customers, professionals, high net worth customers, corporates and other business clients, senior citizens, and if there are large multinational level, you can also have 1 or 2 if there are multinational corporates banking with in a particular branch. And so depending on the customer base and the percentage of customers, you can align your sample percentages also same way. Say you have 50% of customers are business individuals and business corporates, then you can have 50% of the sample from that. Say 25% of customer base is individual customers, then individual customers should represent 25% of the sample. Like that, you can scientifically select your sample to represent the entire customer base in a particular branch. Right. So, are we there? Oh, anyone is sleeping? Okay. Right. So, now questions are open for you all. Are there any, are you all now, I'll get your feedback because you are my customers. I am worried about my customer service. How have we done so far? Are you clear with the gap model and the so-called dimensions? Deadline for the report. Actually, I to ask you, you have to ask it from the coordinator. Generally, it's 1 month, I think, 2 months. Your coordinator is Menaka. Why don't you, whether, let me check whether it's available. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please put in your chat box. Any unclear? 26 March. Wait a second. I'll check with Menaka and in the meantime, you can ask any questions that you have. Right? Are you Menaka? There's මේ report එක කවද්ද කොච්චර කල් දෙනවද ළමයින්ට? 1 month නේ. Right. එතකොට 1 month නේ. Right. Right. හරි. නෑ මම දැන් මම කියන හරි පස්සේ දානවා. Thank you. Okay, bye. All right, it's 1 month. I think that is somebody said correctly. Now, you know, this customer service quality surveys are very, very interesting. But you have to ask the questions in the right way. Then you can get a lot of information. You can be very specific, you can focus narrowly, ask specific things, and don't limit your questions. If you really want to go more than 30 questions, still you're okay. But only thing, customers might not like to give a loan. Respond to very long questions, isn't it? So my general okay, generally I think is but 30 questions should be okay, because just to take it and divide it into 5 areas, then 6 questions for each dimension, isn't it? Right? So okay, I need your rating now. How like what was your expectation? And right, so out of I'm serious, right? Out of, say, rating, out of your expectation of this session was, say, 5, and what was your what is your perception and your perceived is a customer service I have done. What I have done is a delivery of a lecture. It's a service operation. And during these 3.5 hours or so, I have given you some inputs, and you have had some expectations, and now you are giving your feedback. I'm not going to be angry with anybody. And out of 5, you can give the scale, or out of 100. Now, best is give out of 5, or out of 10, say rather. The expectation was 10, but the delivery was say 2 or 3 or 5 or 6, you can start giving rating. And then we will clear some questions. Right, Sandamali says expectation. My God, I have a delight customer. 90 and expectation is 10 out of 10. Right, thank you. I'm really happy about it. But don't just to please me, don't do that. Right, Nilushi 10. You mean 10 out of 10? Daham, you mean 11 out of 100 or 11 out of 10? Right. I really like that feedback because that's why at the beginning I asked your level, whether you are working in a bank. I think if you are in a bank, you are definitely going through these kind of experiences. Yes, Avishkar 10 out of 10. Yes, Shodhya 10 out of 10. Yes, Daham 11 out of 10. Thank you. I'm a delighted customers also. Okay. Some more to come? Some don't want to give any rating. Don't worry, I'm not going to get angry because that will really motivate me to explain further any clarification you need. Oh, right. Meantime, I will write my. Yes. I was about to do that. I hope you can see this. Courses RMP. Ah. Oh, yeah. It's 0777 587 863. Email is RMP Dayavans. RMP. Yeah, mirror version, sorry. Don't worry, I will read it. 0777 587 863. Sorry, 5886. Zero triple seven 587 863. Email is RMP Dayavansa DAYAWANSA at gmail.com. Hope you're okay. 0777 587 863. RMP Dayavansa at gmail.com. All simple. Okay. So, anything else? So I'm really happy that you all understood the content of the discussion, and I have supported you with some sample survey questions. Only thing you will have to get some support from, if you are not in branches, some support staff, support to support your exercise. You need some support from a staff of a branch. You may have friends in working in branches. So if I don't answer, maybe if I'm busy if you call me, just send me a SMS saying that you are from diploma class. Then I will definitely call you. You can send SMS. If I am unable to answer you the time you call. Anything else? So especially the person who is from Qatar, you can email me or call me whatever. If you have any questions, I hope you will not have questions. I will be share assignment. Yeah, assignment you will have to submit to the college, to submit it to IBSL on or before 26 March. Do it as a serious exercise. Don't just do it for sake of doing it, and don't copy others' work. Do original of your own. I mean, it's not difficult because you have everything, the content, the sample questions, only to just tweak a bit of these questions, and you can easily develop a good questionnaire that yes, can questionnaire. Yeah, of course, definitely, because some customers might not. Yeah, it's a very good question, because some customers in our station might not be able to do that. 100% you are allowed to do that in single, but you can report, you can translate and do it in English. Don't do a single report, right? Because it's an English medium program. It's a very good point. Thank you. 100% okay for you to do it, because only thing, the language doesn't matter. You need to get the feedback. Thank you for that. Very good point. I totally forget it. It's called empathy. If you don't step into their shoes, you won't realize what they feel. Anything else? So if you don't have anything else, can we call it a day? Wind up the class. Just say yes or no. You want to? I need to figure. Shall we wind up? Yes or no? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we have done that in detail. I think you have got a good idea about the assignment. Anybody else? If you are willing, we can stop the class or ask any questions if you need. Okay, Sandamali, yes, thank you very much. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Daham. Good feedback. Yes, Shifani, yes. Thank you and welcome. It's my pleasure. Yes. My pleasure, thank you. Asika, Niloshi, Tijilla, yes. Manisha, welcome. Yes, Odya, yes. Thank you very much. You're welcome. My pleasure, Avishka. My pleasure. So I wish you all the best in your assignment and do a serious job. Thank you, Rashmi, Dinesha. Do a serious job and try to learn something out of this exercise. That's the purpose of this whole objective of this program. I believe you can do really well because you have been very keen set of students. Everyone is very actively participated, and I think you are done very good. So thank you very much then. Have a good day and good evening. Bye-bye.